So, what are we doing here? Um, a couple words about me and a couple words about Christine. So I'm going to start with Christine. Christine is Ukrainian. Her parents survived World War II, and she was born in a displaced persons camp in Heidelberg. Her mother, who I had the good fortune to meet many times, who had to change her life and who was a wonderful, wonderful person, was the president of the Ukrainian American Women's Organization. Am I right, Chris? And was a political prisoner in Ravensbrück, for those who know what that means. Her father was in the resistance in World War II, and her whole family is Ukrainian. I don't want to dwell on those stories. That's part of the background and the details of how they got to the United States instead of Brazil or someplace else. Christine can relay to you later. My family. One side of my family escaped Torquemada in Spain and ended in Ukraine. The first ancestor came to the United States and to southern New Jersey in 1886. Some came. Those that didn't had to put up with the czars. Some were killed, some were persecuted, some were tortured. And that was the first family experience with Russian ruthless persecution in Ukraine. Those who survived had to put up with Stalin, the Holodomor, starvation, and those who have survived still are putting up with what you're going to see more detail about tonight. So, there's two organizations and two combat veterans and those organizations are going to present to us. I am the last person in my family to wear a military uniform. I was in the Army, 1966 to 69. I left as a captain. My father, Navy, World War II. His ship was hit in the South Pacific, split 5 seams. He survived. Cousin, Air Force, Korea, uncles, Army, World War II. The first person in the family that served for the United States in uniform was my great uncle, and he rode cavalry against Pancho Villa in the Mexican War under General Pershing. He was injured, and he died before he was 30. There was no rehabilitation. There was no provision for an amputee. There was no organization. So my children and my grandchildren have the wonderful luxury that this great nation of the United States has provided them. I've provided them. They're all in terrific place. The 9-year-old grandchild has no idea how well she is. How did we, all of us in this room, have such enormous success? Who defended us? And so, what this is about, because last night we had a geopolitical discussion, and Saturday night we're going to have a defense panel with 4 people, and that one will be on the record in public. And tonight, this is on the record in public. And tomorrow, we may talk about markets and deficits and interest rates and all that nonsense. And I don't know whether tomorrow night is on the record or off the record. That's up to the program committee of the GIC. They are doing tomorrow. So this is a first very special session. I asked Peter if he would moderate it. He said yes. There is a film, and I'm going to let him take over, introduce this wonderful panel, and share the experience. And at the end, then I'm going to ask for some help.
Thank you, David. So I think we'll start by having everyone here introduce themselves. Hello. Scott. Doesn't work. I guess just start by introducing yourself.
My name's Adam Kisielewski. I'm a retired Marine Sergeant, double amputee. Got wounded in Iraq in 2005 and currently the CEO of MPLB Outdoors.
Hello, everybody. Iryna Discipio, and I'm the president and founder for Revived Soldiers Ukraine, US-based charity. We help Ukrainian wounded servicemen, and I'm former athlete. I used to run for Ukrainian national team, and I ended up at USC, so I compete for University of Southern California, and I'm All-American in track and field.
Hello, my name is David Piasecky. I'm Ukrainian soldier. I was like on front line for about a year.
Hi, my name is Diana Piasecky. I'm David's wife for the last 8 years, and currently it's my main job.
Okay, so I want to start with you guys first. Living in Ukraine. It's January 2022 before Russia invades. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that this was actually going to happen?
So I would say like 1 month before that, everybody like we're talking about this, and no one wanted to believe in this. I would say that for sure. But at the same time, quite a lot of people are started to prepare just in case. So same thing I did. I kind of bought like a lot of food and water because you don't really know like w- we didn't know how war could look like, you know. So we were kind of prepared, but no one like could even imagine how like bad it will be, and I don't think it's like will be possible to prepare like fully for this.
So so the war begins February 2022. What was your step from there in terms of joining the military and then actually going into battle?
Sorry, got a deaf. It's so hard to hear sometimes. Um, so as the full-scale invasion started, uh, the only thought I had at that time, it's like about my wife, Diana. Uh, the first thing a lot of like families did, I also did the same. I started to think how I can like keep my wife safe, and then how I can get joined like to the military. And I believe on the second day, of the war, I sent Diana. It was also, I would say, kind of quite a journey because even if like we live in Lviv, it's western part of Ukraine, and we are about like 60 kilometers from the Polish border, and even like to get there was really really hard and kind of scary to send Diana because Russians were bombing actually border crossing as well, and we would have like a traffic jam like for like many kilometers because you could basically it means like I'm setting Diana and she could stuck there like who knows for how long, and she ended up staying like on this line for how many days?
3 days.
Huh?
3 days.
3 days, yeah. So, and like I'm sent here with like one small bag and our dog, and like I would think like how she can like eat, or what she gonna drink, is she gonna be safe? So that's like the first thing that I did, and like after that, I still had like a job, and I decided to like become a volunteer. I had like some equipment. It was not really military equipment. It was I bought a lot of stuff for airsoft because I used to play, and I like went and donated to the guys all my stuff. We were like driving across the city, trying to buy a lot of products, a lot of food because. Guys who would join military like at the very beginning we didn't have any kind of supplies for the army for the guys who joined, even not just army, they just went and asked, look, can I have a gun, and I'll go fighting. So yeah, I started to kind of as a volunteer at first.
Well, I think there's one thing that's really amazing about this is that Putin thought he would come in and invade and it would be over in 3 days, and that Ukrainians would just give roses right to the Russian soldiers. And I think there's one thing we learned is the incredible resilience and grit of the Ukrainian people in terms of fighting back and not giving this guy just free will over your country. And do you think that that grit remains the same today as it was when they first invaded? Is that still that same strong desire to push back?
I would say for sure, because if it would be not true, I wouldn't be here alive right now. It's one thing, of course, everyone tired. That's true, and that's a natural thing. But our people, uh, they can like, I don't. We will fight till the last man. I will say this for sure as well.
Well, I'm going to bring Iryna in here because when we see on the news, we read the papers, and we see soldiers getting injured, dying, whatever. We don't realize when someone gets hurt, there's not like there's a hospital down the street that they can be cared for. Iryna is going to explain what she does, where they literally take injured Ukrainian soldiers and they bring them to the United States for treatment. And there's this whole infrastructure of support to treat these soldiers.
So the war started in 2014.
Yes, when
When
they
Thai
first took
Ukraine,
Crimea,
yes.
correct.
Yes, so annexation Crimea and east of Ukraine, where a lot of guys went to fight, and including my brother. And we lost a lot of guys back then. And I did realize that Ukrainian medical system is very poor. Our rehabilitation system is really as America had after World War II. So there's none. And what can we do, right? We're regular civilians here in the United States, and I understand that American medical system is very generous. So one by one, we start to find hospital and medical facilities to get our soldiers over here. One by one, whatever we can find, prosthetics and whatever, like doctors, Yale Hospital, Massachusetts General Hospital, Wilson Hospital. So many hospitals opened the door back then since 2014. But in 2022, we were established charity. We were like 8 years old by then, and a lot of people knew about us, and people just start to like give us money, who they can donate to. Revive Soldiers Ukraine, they know us. So we start to work hard. We stopped bringing soldiers in 2022. When the war started throughout the country, all we did, we were fighting bulletproof vest jackets, we were fighting drones, we were fighting generators, we were fighting cars all over the place, US, Europe, wherever we can find. And I really hope that all that money that we put into this help, like it's mostly like military help, because all civilians become military. So it's no more civilians. Everybody was fighting. I hope some of it saved lives. I remember I distribute one bulletproof jacket for 10 people. 10 people show up for one jacket. It's like we couldn't find anywhere. Like I was bringing my suitcase 2 bulletproof jackets. I knew that I can give it to people and they will be safe. So is the helmet. So it was insane. We didn't sleep, we didn't eat, we would just work every single day. But then, I realized that there will be insane casualties. So I start to email hospitals. How many soldiers you can take? How many soldiers you can take? The entire nation is under not occupation, but my city was. My parents left with a suitcase only, like 70 years old people, entire life in a suitcase. But Ukrainian army free my city. My parents could go back home. A lot of people cannot still. And they probably don't have home anymore. So I would say this war is the biggest tragedy for us. It's our tragedy. And you know what? Americans stepped in. If not for United States, probably will be gone by now. That's what I think. So many American veterans emailed me asking, give us a letter, we will go get US passports, we will go and fight for you. And I did. They want to go and defend my home? Yes, sure, I will do the letter. So I'm really thankful to American nation for that. And then, of course, soldiers, our guys, defenders. So many trains of people wounded and killed, trains. They would not release bodies at once to family. They have to release one by one body, because otherwise it will be chaos. Entire country is like under chaos. We don't understand what belonged to Russia and what belonged to Ukraine, where to go and where not to go, which path to take, the cars, even volunteers. Volunteers would get trapped and get imprisoned as well. And entire chaos. And now we kind of figured out, this is Russia, this is Ukraine. We kick Russians out of my city. And I'm really thankful to Ukrainian army, entire world who stepped in, and now I have home. I can come back home. Everybody wants to go home, right? So we start to work with the soldiers again. In May, we brought a couple guys to Mass General for free. After May, one by one, I think we got 100 guys since. It's very hard. The war is not the same as it was in 2014. It's very long evacuation. Evacuation could take from 12 hours to 24 hours or longer, and guys losing limbs so high. We have about 60,000 amputees right now. And as we spoke with Adam, he was saying America fought in the war for so many years, it's only 2,000 amputees. Can you imagine the scale of losses? And prosthetic companies, they don't do discounts. Your tragedy, they make money. And we start to fundraise. I mean, what can we do? We start to fundraise and give these guys chance to live. Actually, at this point, I want to show one of the videos. Is this one? That's one of the prosthetic center that we work with since 2016. Our guys are dying on our prosthetics in this war, like I would call like new war, like life divided in three parts: life before war, which is my sport and athletics and whatever I did before, then the war, life with the war, and now new war. So three lives in one. So I would like to show this video and see what these guys going through every day. What does our day look like every day?
А ми ще повоюємо, а ми ще потанцюємо. Ти металом зціли наші рани, бо ми люди, титани. Я колись запитаю у тебе, ти ж керуєш усім там на небі, чому нас не покликав з собою? Що невже не сплатили ми долю? Що невже ти вважаєш так треба? Ми ж долоні всі мали до тебе. Вже 300-та твоя Мона Ліза, та й до біса вона, та й до біса. Ми ще повоюємо, а ми ще потанцюємо. Ти металом зціли наші рани, бо ми люди, титани. А ми ще повоюємо, а ми ще потанцюємо. Ти металом зціли наші рани, бо ми люди, титани. Я єдине, про що попрошу тебе, хай всі наші не будуть забутими, а ми тут, поки дихаєм рівно, все стабільно, плюс, все стабільно.
So practically entire nation of guys, like they were athletes, they were actors, they were musicians, they all went to fight. It's not professional fighters or soldiers, they became them. And usually it's from 20 years old to 30 years old. So practically entire generation is either injured or killed.
Where were those rehab facilities?
This one is Prosthetic and Orthotic Associates. They're based in Orlando, Florida. And that's one of the points that Revived Soldiers Ukraine bring our guys to. For legs, it's only legs, as you see. Hospitals is, as I said, Massachusetts General, which is Boston, Chicago, University of Illinois Hospital, and Penn Medicine, Wills Eye, and Prosthetic Innovations in Philadelphia. There you go. Yes.
Now, after they go through this rehab, then what for them?
So majority of the guys were returning back to Ukraine to our rehabilitation centers. So we ended up opening in 2018 Next Step Ukraine in Irpin that we lost with the Russian occupation, but then we came back, we survived, and we started to bring at first civilians who got hurt during evacuation from Irpin, Bucha, and then soldiers. And we opened up a second one because we got Americans who stepped in and give us funds. We opened up a second rehab in Lviv. So between those centers, we accept 45 wounded servicemen a day. And it's varieties of injuries. It's neurotrauma, it's orthopedic trauma, and amputees.
You said there was a second video that you wanted to show?
Yeah, so this is one of the projects that we work on. Of course, we cannot, I have this friend, he's a priest. He's from Chicago, Atec Mykola, Father Mykola. He said, we cannot save entire world. We cannot, but we can change entire world for one person. And that's what we do. So these videos will show this incredible project that we saved somebody. Due to poor medicine, our doctors are amazing doctors, don't take me wrong. They have so much experience. It's been 11 years, but we still don't have that medicine, that technology that will help us to save lives. Usually guys with abdominal organs wounds live in Ukraine for 3 months, and then doctors cannot do anything. They just die. They slowly die from hunger due to lack of nutrition and IVs and antibiotics and so on. So this story is about one soldier that we rescued from Ukraine, and we happened to find an airplane, a private aircraft with a billionaire on the aircraft who actually put the soldiers with him and flew with him from Poland to Chicago. So this is a very short story, and maybe you will think, maybe you know somebody who knows somebody and who has a plane and maybe can help us to rescue our guys from Ukraine. We work Ministry of Health. They're providing us with the ambulance, and then it's going by chain. So we can take a look for this short video. actually, Robert went to visit the soldier, so it was his philanthropy. It can be people with a lot of money and then don't have to do this. So we're looking for people like that all the time, and we would like to give more soldiers with like chance to live.
Right. Every life matters here.
Yes, yes. So unfortunately, in this evacuation, particular one, we had to leave one soldier behind. He died in 2 days after. We were short, 1 week short.
Right, Adam, we'll talk to you next. Had the opportunity to sit with you at dinner tonight and learn a lot about your background. Um, you said you were 15 or 16 when you decided that maybe the military was a path for you, and then signed the papers, you said, and then 9/11 comes along. And why don't you give some color here on what motivated you to go to the military, and what 9/11 meant to you, and then we'll go from there.
I know the speakers are like really loud. Can you guys hear me better like this way? Yeah. Yes. All right. Yeah, I had wanted to be a deputy sheriff when I was a teenager. Probably 14 years old, started hanging out with the Explorer Post, and always been kind of pragmatic. Something like 70% of the sheriff's department were former Marines, and mostly the guys that I aspired to be like were Marines. I think I had about a 1.8 GPA in high school at the time, so college really wasn't an option. My economic background, my family's wealth didn't really open up many opportunities for education. So the military seemed like a strategically good plan for me. And then I joined my junior year when I was 17, right before the 9/11 attacks. And then when the 9/11 attacks occurred, I'd expedited my high school graduation. So I graduated in January 2002 and was in boot camp by March of 2002.
And then instead of going to Afghanistan in response to 9/11, you ended up going to Iraq.
I did. I ended up getting sidetracked, so I spent the first 2 years working on the president's security detail. I wanted to join the Marine Corps in part to travel too. I'd not really gotten the opportunity to see the world. I thought the president's probably traveling to nicer places in the Fleet Marine Force, so that might be a good opportunity. And instead, ended up at Camp David in Maryland.
So you didn't really get to travel much?
I didn't get to travel at all for the first 3 years of my Marine Corps career. Then I thought, well, if I'm going to Iraq or Afghanistan, maybe at least I'll get on a MU, a Marine Expeditionary Unit, on a ship, and at least stop in a live port or two on the way to Iraq or Afghanistan. But they chartered a commercial airliner. I did get to stop in Ireland for I think about a half hour while they refueled. I got to drink a Guinness in Ireland's airport, so that was the one live port that I got. But yeah, pretty much straight to Iraq.
And your experience there?
Yeah, Iraq was a pretty dynamic place in 2005. And I guess you guys probably remember the Sunni Triangle of Death right outside of Fallujah. Really pretty hot spots. We had landed in Iraq, I think within our first hour. The airport had gotten struck with a rocket attack. Nobody got hurt, but that was kind of dictating the op tempo right off the bat. We had gone to Al Karma and the Fallujah area of Iraq, and because I was an infantry squad leader, I got to go snap on with the guys who had been in country for the 6 or 7 months leading up to us coming to replace them. So we went out at 10 o'clock at night, and my first real night in Iraq, we're going after a high value target known for wearing a suicide vest. They made it very clear, like, if you see this guy, don't try to detain him, don't try to tackle him, shoot him, and try to keep your distance. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, we missed him by about a half hour. But by 6 or 7 o'clock the following morning, we got hit with our first IED. It totally destroyed the vehicle behind me. And then pretty much every other day, we were getting into some sort of conflict, be it a roadside bomb or vehicle-borne IED, a mortar attack, or some sort of direct, gunfight.
No, I had asked you at the table when there's a pattern of their attacks against you, how do you guys adjust to that?
Yeah, so I mean, the first strategy is like, what are they doing to exploit, our weaknesses? So one of the things with the vehicle-borne IEDs was, they were blending in with the populace, hiding and destroying whatever they could. So we would do things to try to defeat that, however we could. So it ended up being we would drive down the wrong side of the road, and any cars that didn't immediately get out of our way were getting shot at. Generally, we're trying to hit the engine block, but if cars are still coming, then you're going for the drivers. So it's sad reality. There's civilians out there that don't know what's going on, that are getting caught up in this violence, but we're doing whatever we can to kind of protect our convoys. And it's one of those just kind of unfortunate instances where violence is escalating and people are getting hurt, but and doing the best we can.
So you want to tell us about the day at the school?
Yeah, so we had been operating out in the communities. We lived out where we were patrolling for generally 6.5 days, and then we go back in to resupply for about a day and go back out. And we had gotten into this gunfight at the school of all places. And 2 days later, our sister platoon was walking up to that school. There's some bad guys hanging out in there, and they conducted an ambush. And a couple days after that, we got intel that bad guys were back in that school. So we were kicking in doors, expecting somebody to potentially be hiding behind one of them, and instead came across a house for an IED, which hadn't really been a threat up until that point, but was a 97-pound artillery round rigged to the door. It exploded, killed the lieutenant that was with me, and I was fortunate enough to make it out alive. I got obviously pretty banged up, lost my left arm, my right leg, almost lost my left leg, had some abdominal injuries, ear injuries, and burns, and that sort of thing.
And how long was the recovery before you were able to sort of get back in the world again?
Took Well, it took about a week to get from the battlefield back to the United States, and then I was inpatient going through surgery pretty much every other day for the first 3 months, and then another 8 or 9 months of physical therapy, occupational therapy, that sort of thing, until they considered me recovered. But even back then, they were kind of pumping us through because they didn't know what to do. So recovery, I think, is still going on even today.
Why don't you tell everyone the story of the son of your comrade that died that day?
Yeah, so the lieutenant that was with me, his name is James Cathy. You guys all got your phones. If you ever get a moment, just punch in his name, Lieutenant James Cathy. You'll see a Pulitzer-winning picture of a Marine being offloaded from an airplane, and his wife sleeping next to the casket. They're two really powerful images. But yeah, his son was unborn. Never got a chance to meet him. His mom, unfortunately, didn't do very well, following the loss of her husband, and ended up getting into drugs and just trying to cope. Really a great tragedy. His son ended up being raised by his grandparents, and great people, really stepped up. But yeah, he just graduated high school over Memorial Day weekend last year, and some Marines, myself included, got to go out there and tell him a little bit about his dad, and a guy he never had an opportunity to meet.
And why don't you tell everybody the progression of how, when you left rehab and all the surgeries and all that, and how you got to where you are today, and then expand on what you're doing today to help wounded soldiers?
Yeah, so I was really fortunate, I guess, in a couple of ways. Obviously, first and foremost, I lived, and the lieutenant that was with me didn't. So that was a pretty life-changing event for me in a bunch of ways. But the most profound one was I felt like I had a moral obligation to live my life, as best I possibly could in honor of him. And if you guys know anything about close quarter battle and room clearing, it's just a numbers game. And he got killed that day, and I made it out just because of the layout of the hallway. And you obviously have some serious trauma that you gotta deal with, and, both physically and mentally, trying to recover from that. But all along the way, I had people looking out for me, just like you're looking out for, the Ukrainian soldiers that are getting injured. The same is true for me in my recovery. We're very fortunate to have, kind of top tier medical care and a lot of resources that you guys didn't have, and training and stuff like that that kind of help, from me not getting as injured as I could have been, to the corpsmen who were patching me up, to the doctors who were taking care of me afterwards. But yeah, I got out of the military and felt like I needed a sense of, job satisfaction that I had gotten while I was in the military. My first job was a defense contractor. It was not very rewarding. Paid pretty well, which was cool. For a guy who lost an arm and a leg, things that cost an arm and a leg are a big problem. So I felt like I needed to make some money. If you didn't laugh at that joke, I don't care. It's my favorite one. But there's people that were looking out for me, helping me get into school, helping me, get into a good career path. And man code kind of requires you to not be all consuming all the time. So I basically started volunteering with some nonprofits, and then found like, this is like a really profound thing I'm getting to do to help other people, but I'm getting more out of it than I ever put into it. And long story short, I think I've spent like 10 or 15 years working in nonprofits all across the country in different realms, mostly veteran focused, though not entirely. Went to school and grad school, and figured out that I think I could make the biggest impact working for a nonprofit, and got to work with MPLB Outdoors, doing outdoor recreational therapy for veterans, starting December 2018. So MPLB started as a hunting and fishing organization. It was never about hunting and fishing. It's about getting disabled veterans connected with other disabled veterans that are facing similar challenges in an outdoor environment, some place that, could be healing, something that they're passionate about. I realized it pretty quickly, hey, the activities are cool, but it has nothing to do with, those activities. And not everybody's interested in hunting, so maybe we could expand the scope of what we're doing. My board was eager to do that as well, so we expanded to start doing a bunch of hiking and mountaineering, horseback riding, whitewater rafting, motorsports, and learning how to drive race cars, how to fly airplanes and helicopters. And if you can think about it, we've probably done it. Or still do it unless insurance told us we had to stop, which is true for a couple of things, I guess. But
Well, you also have the ability to fly. I asked him, how'd you get up here? And he goes, oh, I flew.
yeah,
You want to explain that and some of the cool things that you've done with some wounded soldiers about flying them around the country to different places?
yeah. So my first job was doing similar work. We were having problems with veterans that were coming out of the hospital to go on these types of activities. So it's like you take a group of guys who want to go fishing in Maine, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we're all about it," but they're still going through, recovery. They're going through surgeries, every week, and dealing with infections, and so stuff would come up all the time. We were spending a lot of money on airfare for guys that would ultimately not end up going on these trips. So I'd found a group called the Veterans Airlift Command that did private airfare for disabled veterans, and explained my mission, what I was about, who I was, and told them I know for sure on such and such date I'm going to have 8 veterans that I want to bring to Maine to go fishing. And those guys may end up switching out at the very last minute. I have no idea who is going to be on there until hours before. But do you think you could help me out? And that group is awesome. It's led by a disabled Vietnam veteran. He got hurt in a rocket attack flying a helicopter. But he's like, yeah, we can definitely help out. And I got the opportunity to fly right seat with some of the pilots on these missions, and thought, much like the sheriff's department, hey, this is a community of people like I want to be involved with, I want to be associated with. So I started taking some flying lessons and just kind of got into it. Not because I really wanted to fly airplanes as much as I wanted to just be associated with those guys that were doing that kind of mission. And I found that it was one of those kind of challenging skills that rivaled, the military. It's a license to kill yourself for sure. So if you can fake your ability as much as you want, but at the end of the day, when you're the only one flying the airplane, it's all on you when you're trying to.
Tell us about that flight to Philly. Cheesecake? Cheesesteaks?
Yeah, so one of the things our nonprofit does now is take disabled veterans up, for intro flights. So if they've never had an opportunity to get in a small plane, we'll pick them up wherever they're at. And one guy said, "What do you want to do? What are your interests?" He's like, "I've never had a Philly cheesesteak." So I was like, "Well, let's go get a Philly cheesesteak in Philly, and then we'll bring you back home the same day." So
Which place did you go for cheesesteak?
go to Pat and Gino's and just knock them both out on the same day. But
Call me next time, I'll get you a better.
all right,
So one thing I had asked you, so you have a 15-year-old boy,
I did.
and he has an interest in possibly going into the military. And after your experience, losing an arm and a leg, and everything that you went through, what's the advice you give him if he decides to go down this path?
So I'm very guarded in like my messaging to my son because I don't want him to feel like there's an expectation for him to follow in my footsteps. That's been like kind of a cautious thing from the time he was born. For better or worse, because I've spent my career and his entire life working with disabled veterans. He's been kind of exposed to the military and to that community of people. He's been around a bunch of generals and rock stars who, recovered, against amazing adversity. And I feel like he wants to be part of that community, but I also feel like 15-year-olds don't really do a very good job of evaluating risk, and certainly not risk reward. So he sees kind of the glamorous side of the military without really appreciating I think the risk that's associated with it. He sees, hey, dad's injured, but he also sees, dad goes flies over planes, he rides a motorcycle, like he's fine. I'm never complaining to him. So it's one of those we try to educate him. There are risks associated with whatever your decision may be, but we want you to come to the right decision. I think we've convinced him going to school first and then joining the military as an officer will provide him a lot more opportunities. So I think he's on the same page with that, and hopefully we'll give him a little more of an opportunity to mature. But it's a complicated world, and when I had gotten injured, my hope was maybe I did this so that my son wouldn't have to. And we see what's going on with Iran and with Russia, and we are kind of imminent risk of being in a war pretty much always, right? And it's not lost on me that what happened to me or worse could happen to my son. That's obviously not something I want him to have to deal with. So I'm conflicted on whether I want him to go in the military. Be immensely proud of him if that's something he decides to do, but not something I will ever push him to do, and not something I think I could live with myself if I had pushed him to do and something happened to him. I don't know how I would get past that.
Questions, I guess.
Appreciate all of you, seriously. A comment, I'll keep it short, and then a question for the Ukrainians. I'm glad you guys think that America has stepped up on your behalf. There are a lot of us who think America has not done nearly enough and feel kind of embarrassed for our country, both Biden and Trump. that they haven't done more to actually help Ukraine win this war. There are a lot of people who feel that way. I just want you guys to know that. The question is, what is wrong with the Russians? Why do the Russian soldiers ride motorcycles to almost certain death on the front lines? Is it true that they are press ganged into service, that they're getting paid so much money that they're willing to die because their families will be better off? And I'm not asking about Putin. I'm asking about why are there hundreds of thousands of Russian soldiers that are willing to do that? Do you understand?
Yeah. Can I say one word and then I will pass to David? There's a big time propaganda. Like it's crazy. If you're gonna watch Russian TV, sometimes I do just to see what they think. Because if you wanna fight enemy, you have to think like they think. You believe. I'm like sometimes, oh my gosh, like that that looks true. And people who
That's the vilification of Ukraine that they was.
well, yes, like I mean, like they said that Ukraine is bad. All of a sudden, like we're not young brother, like smaller brother. Now we enemy, and we bad. Like everybody. I used to run for Ukraine national team. We were always together with Russian national team. We go to sports camps together. We were training in Russia. All the world championship, European championship, we were together. And all of a sudden, we're like, "Are you seriously like killing us right now?" Like that's it, and that's what TV told them to, and they believe if you're gonna see every day the same information, you will believe in it eventually. So David may say something from him.
Yeah, when it's gonna same thing, but I will add, if you look at the history, uh, Russians are like always following their like Tsar, like a king, right? And unfortunately, it's not the first time Russia attacked Ukraine. It happened like over the centuries quite a lot. And for us, for Ukrainians, it's not new actually, you know. And like if SAR says like go and die over there, they can do it for sure. And unfortunately, like Iryna said, like propaganda works really great in Russia. They believe whatever like they told, even if they like have a doubt, they don't really care like to dig deeper to find the truth. They're okay where they are.
If you don't mind, I will also add something. I saw some very interesting quote like in Russia, when you love Russia, it means that you're a patriot. In Ukraine, if we love Ukraine, they call us nazists. So it's like, and also about your question, I don't know if you're okay to listen to tough stories. Every family in Ukraine has different stories. I have been talking with my neighbor. He arrived from Chernivtsi. It's very close to Russia, and he told me that his a whole family of neighbors has been killed and died. The daughter, she was 16 years old. She was raped by Russians, and then they kill her. They rob the house, and her mother, she can take this, so she died from heart attack because I was raping her daughter, and make her look at this. And I think the main reason why the Russians are coming here because when they came to Ukraine, they can do whatever they want. They can rape, kill, rob. They're taking houses. They're destroying everything. And when they came to Russia, they call them heroes. Like, if you want to gain some money, if you want to have some fun, you need to go to Ukraine. You need to kill people. You need to kill women. And they call they're heroes because they're killing Nazis. Because we love our country and we live in Ukraine. That's our main crime.
I'll try to talk loudly. Irene and David, the question of Adam talks a lot about community, yet we're past an event that you all are currently in. But how are you all dealing with community of those like David who are wounded today, trying to stay together because you need something positive to sort of move forward in your lives, and how has that worked and any success you've had there?
Community. Well, it's hard. We're in a war. It's hard to have a community. But every time I drive around cities in Ukraine, there's people either on the crutches, on the prosthetics. That's Ukraine is not ready to be a community like United States, where people come in and shaking hand and thank you for your service and coming to Ukrainian guys, right? And once one gentleman came to one of Ukrainian soldiers. He's younger. He was 21 at the time, and he's, oh, thank you for your service. Obviously, the guy with no legs, and they understand that it's a veteran, right? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not American, I'm Ukrainian. Oh, buddy, let me hug you. Like, so that was like much better acceptance here. In Ukraine, unfortunately, nobody does it. People live every day under bombs. They don't sleep enough. They like, it's hard to get job or go by. The economy is struggling right now, really. There's no investments into the country that under war. And people just tired. 3.5 years of sirens every night. You have to go to bomb shelter. Like some people is like, I don't even gonna go. But it's hard to build community right now. But a lot of Americans, European charities comes in. They do create some sort of like welcoming home. Like us, we have Next Step Ukraine, 2 rehabilitation centers. Our soldiers just to come and drive into our rehab just to hang out, have a coffee with us. They just want to be around people like they are. And we always open, all our doors are open. Anybody can come in and just hang out and talk to us, talk to the team, talk to soldiers. But it's not enough. It's not enough. And when we're going to be in where United States are, I don't know. It's going to take us years and years of recovery. I still driving around my city is like half gone. We're slowly rebuilding. Warren Buffett, I don't know where he is, but he rebuilt half of my city. Thank you very much. So people can come back, and kindergartens and schools were rebuilding in the first place, so infrastructure can function. But then you never know when it's gonna fly back to you again, like, and it's gonna be destroyed again. So it's very hard to build it yet, but we will go for it. We will try to make our country. We will come back with your help, of course.
Like, so for now, like in the big picture, we didn't really have such communities, but I would say that so many people joined the army that you can say like every other family has a member like a family in the army. So uh, we for now we are fighting and we can't afford like really kind of relax, and our families are taking care of like soldiers. So we have got kind of super small communities like family, basically family community for now at least. Thank you.
Question for David. I think you guys had talked earlier that the average age is like 20 to 30 as far as the volunteers, but in Iryna, in the first video, it looked like there was one kid, it looked like he was 14 or 15.
19.
19. So my question is like, what's it like when you have younger kids that are like trying to step up and jump in and volunteer, or even on the opposite side, you have older people that are trying to come in? I'm just curious, how do you guys handle that? Like, what's that dynamic like?
David is 28.
So, by the law, you cannot sign a contract if you're not like 21. If you're younger, you have to like bring like letter that your parents allow you to. And I went to the UK for the training, and I was fortunate like to have a lot of buddies from my own brigade there, and I would say more like not more than half, like almost all of them were way younger than me, and I was kind of old there. It was really weird, but uh, we have, especially in my brigade, so many young people. Like some of them joined army at 17s unofficially, and as soon as they are get 18s, they can uh, like sign papers and join. And I would say sometimes families even don't know they are going, but that says a lot about the younger generation. They know like how important this. They know who they are and what they're protecting. So it's on one side, it's really hard to see really young person who didn't even like had a proper life, he just like finished the school basically, to see with you in the front line. But on the other hand, you see like really highly motivated person who can like fight with you and you can trust him. Like he'll like carry like really like a lot of weight. He can go like for a longer time like than older people. So we all always like is it the word like carry those people, because they are right now the bone of our army. I hope I answered your question. So
And you have to understand all these guys, young guys, they born in Ukraine, not USSR. Like I was born in under USSR for 6 years. I was no, so more than six. Like 8 years, nine. I was nine when we got free from Russia. These old guys, they don't know Russian and they don't want to know Russia. So it's they born free.
Maybe a little blunt of this. What else do you need? We can donate money to you guys, but what aren't you getting that we can help you with?
Us, revived soldiers, Ukraine, hospitals, great doctors, politician, exactly. Twice a year in Washington D.C., Ukrainians gathering together and they go and lobbying bills that supports Ukraine. I think it's in April and in October. So a lot of Americans actually stepping in and go with the Ukrainian teams to its congressmen and senators and pushing to support Russia. As you know, like I'm sitting in front of Brian Mast, who is receiving prosthetic legs where we are, and he actually donated his prosthetic legs to one of our soldiers. He's sitting in front of me in April and saying, Europe has to step in, we're not gonna do anything. Like we're losing territories, we're losing people, we kind of struggling now. He's like, no, Ukraine, like Europe has to step in, we're done. And I mean, like, and he's been with us like for all these years. He's there, he sees all these guys all the time, like when he comes and serves his legs. So it's if we're gonna go and push and ask, some bills are going through, and one bill is actually going through right now. We pushed it in April, and it's going through right now. So Americans has a right to say, and politicians will listen because they need your vote. That's what I think.
I was born in Nuremberg, outside Nuremberg. Father was in the military, firing officer on artillery, missiles. I thought I had an understanding of what Nazis are.
how today is it possible that there is a definition of Nazi that is Russian and a definition that is Ukrainian? I don't understand.
You have to listen to Russian TV. I mean, it's very powerful. I will tell you, like it's whatever, how much money they put into their propaganda. It works. It works. They like all of a sudden overnight, we became an enemy. And there's, I will talk Russian. Like like there's so many families that live in Russia or Ukraine. It's mixed, and there was something like this family doesn't talk to Ukrainian family, and so on. But and they're like, okay, let's escape to bomb Ukraine. We can still like like, figure this out. It's okay.
I hope will sound like as I'm trying to figure out how to say like in my mind, but there's no such thing as Ukrainian Nazis. Why? Because Russian uh, uh, Russian propaganda uses uh, a lot of like stories about like bad Ukrainians, and why they using like the word Nazis is because of their history. Uh, they have such a thing like we call it a Победобесие. It's essentially like they are doubling down on the like twisted history of victory and a second world war. Like they are like actually kind of nuts on this thing because of that their government finds it very easy to control and like propaganda if we call like anyone Nazis. Why? Because they like fought in the previous war, they won, and they are not just celebrating. It's like really like a twisted now like holiday in Russia, and that's why it's so like easy to manipulate Russians, like because of that. So they calling us Nazi not because we have like Nazi people in Ukraine. If it would be Poland, they would call them like Nazis. It will be Estonia, they would call them. It doesn't matter. It's just like it's comfortable to them and easy to manipulate people that way.
So it's bullshit.
Yep.
They're not Nazis.
We won't disagree with you, Tom. Christine and I donate to both these organizations. And what I want to do is make a pitch, and everybody do what you want. That's up to each person. General Gray, who has been here, cannot be here, otherwise, he would be. I spoke to him Sunday night, and we have seen the work done here for 2 years of Combat Wounded Veterans Challenge. Some people here fished with some of the vets. We watched them pull milfoil from a lake that had an infestation. We had lunch and dinners together. Combat Wounded Veterans Challenge is merged into Adam's organization. He's the CEO. That means he has to absorb and add to the programming from the scuba activity in Key West to other things. So this is an absorption of two organizations. This is not a business transaction, it's a philanthropic transaction. And as we all know who have encountered this, it's geared to American vets who are amputees. He needs absorption help. That takes money and other things. It's up to Adam. He will be with us until Saturday morning, and you can all converse with him, and he will be able to tell you here's what I need for my organization, I want to explain or comment on the acronym. You use 4 letters, outdoors, but not everybody here wore a uniform. What do the 4 letters stand for?
No person left behind.
In the U.S. military, that's a code. You don't leave a comrade. I'm getting a shiver. So, anybody who wants to help this organization, here's the CEO, and he can tell you how to do it, what to do. We know, and it includes sending money from a donor advised fund to help them. That's a merger, it's a one time absorption and an expansion of that organization. Let me go to Iryna. She's the CEO of an organization that is taking a vet in Ukraine and helping the medical treatment, including bringing that person to the United States. We talked earlier today, there were 3 cases. One died.
3 cases that are waiting for evacuation.
They cannot receive the treatment they need in Ukraine. It's not there. It's in Chicago.
University of Illinois Hospital.
So, what does it take to get them? When a Ukrainian soldier is wounded and needs treatment in the United States, and it is possible to get them here. Now, remember, the institutions in the U.S. are doing this. This is not, there is no VA. This is a war zone. There are no services that we all take for granted that we have. They're not there. So, if they can move on a commercial flight, takes money.
Commercial flight, no.
But if they can't, then it takes a private plane. You saw one. Now, if everybody in this room had a Gulfstream, we could move everybody here. Well, we don't have that. But if we know someone who can, if we can assist in the transportation, if we can provide funds. David is being treated at Will's Eye in Philadelphia. I've had surgery in that hospital. And everything that is being done for him there is because of philanthropy. 100% philanthropy. There isn't anything else. So, anybody who wants to help revive soldiers in Ukraine, Iryna can tell you how to do it. If you have a Gulfstream, she can tell you what we can do with it. And if you want to write a check or help, she will say thank you. And the same thing is true for Adam. They are with us until Saturday morning. And it took a little moving beyond the economics and finance to another level. But I'm glad that you came. I'm glad I invited you. You didn't know what you were in for?
No.
Well, this is a wonderful group of people. This is a wonderful group of people. So each person decides on their own what they want to do. Here are the people to talk to. Thank you for coming and joining us. All right. We're going fishing tomorrow, so we got a big day. Thanks.